Hi everybody, Ralph Shaheen here in Las Vegas. NHRA is in town and we're bringing you all the coverage on Speed Sport, brought to you by Crosley. You know, when you think of John Force, obviously you think of Peak and Chevrolet. Those are the logos that you're used to seeing. But if you're a lifelong drag racing fan like myself, then how about Brute Force? That might be where you first got to know this guy, John Force. John, where did this Brute Force logo come from?
Well, first, let me say, we're right in the middle of this countdown, and I got a shot at this title, even though there's 4 guys out there that are right on top of their game. And it's going to be probably the toughest year I've ever faced. But I got a shot. But along the way, Peak, Chevrolet, that's what we do, we race. So to incorporate something that is personal to me, the Brute Force logo that goes back 45 years. You know, I want to go back there, I want to do a little history, and even in my museums in Indy and California, I've got probably 60 cars of the early day Brute Forces all the way down. I ran them for 10 or 15 years. So does it mean something to me? Yeah, it's really cool. But the question you ask, I'll get to. Gene Beaver was putting together a program with me doing my first original Brute Force cars. And he had an artist named Nat Quick, a wild guy with long hair, crazy. But Nat did the front covers on the Jefferson Starship album covers. So he wanted to design it, the Brute Force, but he wanted to use the fist. And I said, why the fist? Well, that kind of brute force. But his dad was a pilot, and his dad was a military Air Force pilot, and he had the fist on the side of their planes. The only difference was, because they owned that logo, their logo was just like this, different colors, but it had green leaves and stuff in it. I don't even know what that meant. So Nat took it and adapted it, and we ran it for the next 15 years. And then when corporate America took over, you know how that goes. They want those signs, and we went away from it.
Buddy, I was never worried about you getting back to the question. I knew you'd get there. So let's talk about this championship. Now, you're running against some guys that have been there and done that, but you have more than anybody. What's the one trick up your sleeve you got that could put all these other guys on the trailer?
Well, I wished I had, tricks up my sleeve. I'm going to give it everything I can. I've got a great Daniel Hood, my son-in-law, and Fabrizi. They run this car, and Barlam, I leave it to them. I'm going to drive the heck out of it, whatever it takes. And you saw the fire at Dallas. That about took me out just from the smoke. But we recovered from that, and we're still in the hunt. So we're going to go out there and play heads-up drag racing, and I'm going to start from the top. Start with Hagen, go right on down the pack, if I can pull it off. But there's always a chance.
Well, if you'd like to see John Force run the Brute Force colors, you can see him here in Vegas and also coming up at Pomona at the World Finals. Stay with us for more right here on Speed Sport.